Imagine a solitary silhouette looming on the expansive timber porch of a secret fortress shielded by a massive 124 acres of absolute silence. Forget the flashy gates of Beverly Park or the desperate visibility of the Hollywood Hills. This is raw open territory bathed in soft golden hour light, occupied by a presence so commanding it demands your attention before you even realise you're looking at royalty. Welcome to the Mississippi Sanctuary of Morgan Freeman, the ultra-private universe concealed behind the most iconic voice in entertainment history. Today we are tearing down the velvet rope to investigate his massive land holdings, his collection of high-end machinery, and the controversial legendary path he carved to get here. But to really get the gossip on this calm, collected legend, we have to rewind the tape all the way back to the gritty beginning, long before the red carpet glam. The drama started on June 1st, 1937, in Memphis, Tennessee, where a future icon arrived as the baby of 5 siblings in a world that wasn't ready for him. Talk about a rough start. His parents, Mamie Edna and Morgan Porterfield Freeman, packed their bags and headed for Chicago to chase paychecks, effectively leaving the picture shortly after he was born. That left little Morgan to be raised by his grandmother in Charleston, Mississippi, a move that would define his entire character arc. Life down there wasn't a movie script. It was simple, incredibly strict, and heavily dictated by the harsh, segregated rules of the Deep South at the time. Tragedy struck when he was just 6 years old and his grandmother passed away, forcing him to bounce north to a mother who had split from his father, followed by a chaotic return to Tennessee. But even with all that family instability and drama, Freeman found his escape route in the world of make-believe and storytelling. At the tender age of 9, he stumbled onto a stage, shockingly snagging the lead role in a school play and discovering his superpower. What looked like a cute childhood hobby was actually the planting of a seed for one of the most dominant acting careers the world has ever witnessed. Fast forward to 1955, fresh out of Broad Street High School, Freeman dodged the drama club for the United States Air Force, convinced his destiny was in the clouds as a fighter pilot. But reality hit hard once he was in uniform. Sitting in the cockpit, he had a massive epiphany that he was in love with the movie version of flying, not the military reality. Once he finished his service, he made a sharp left turn, ditching the wings for the stage and hustling his way out west to Los Angeles. He grounded out studying at the Pasadena Playhouse, surviving on peanuts while working a dead-end job as a transcript clerk at Los Angeles City College just to keep the lights on. But the City of Angels wasn't giving him the break he needed just yet. So he became a nomad, splitting his hustle between New York and San Francisco, dancing, acting, and crashing musical theatre auditions, desperate for any spotlight he could find. By the mid-1960s, the industry finally started paying attention as Freeman stamped his name on the off-Broadway scene with productions like The Lovers. Then came the big leagues in 1968, where he stood toe-to-toe with the legendary Pearl Bailey in an all-black Broadway revival of Hello, Dolly. His silver screen debut popped in 1971 with Who Says I Can't Ride a Rainbow? But let's be real, it was television that actually invaded American homes. He became a household staple with a recurring gig on Another World, and famously as the cool guy teaching kids to read on PBS's The Electric Company. But the late 80s and early 90s, that was when Freeman shifted from working actor to untouchable Hollywood royalty. He terrified audiences as the pimp Fast Black in 1987's Street Smart, a performance so electric it snagged him his first Oscar nomination. Then came the role that would basically become a religious experience for film buffs read in 1994's The Shawshank Redemption. With that soothing voice and emotional weight, he turned a box office sleeper into a cultural juggernaut that refuses to die. Finally, in 2005, after being overlooked 3 times, the Academy gave in and handed him the Best Supporting Actor trophy for Clint Eastwood's $1 Million Baby. That same year, he flexed his range by literally playing God in Bruce Almighty and the sequel, Evan Almighty, proving he commanded respect on a celestial level. He then brought gravity to the comic book world, joining Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy as Lucius Fox, the genius keeping Batman equipped. And the man simply refuses to retire. He stormed back to the stage for The Country Girl in 2007 just to prove he still had the theatre chops. He grabbed yet another Oscar nod for channeling Nelson Mandela perfectly in the 2009 film Invictus. Throughout the 2000s, he kept cashing massive checks in blockbusters like Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen Oblivion, and Coming to America. Even as he cruised into his 80s, Freeman remained a global power player that cameras couldn't get enough of. He shocked the world by appearing at the opening ceremony of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, proving his brand is international. Since 2023, he's been bringing the heat as the US Secretary of State in the intense Paramount Plus thriller Lioness. And rumour has it he is locked and loaded to return for Now You See Me, Now You Don't in 2025. But after conquering Tinseltown and building a resume most actors would kill for, Freeman decided to plant his flag somewhere far less chaotic than Los Angeles. He retreated to the Mississippi estate that holds his deepest secrets and oldest memories, trading red carpets for a disciplined, quiet life. Hidden away in Charleston, Mississippi, this massive compound sprawls across 124 acres of prime secluded earth. It is a private kingdom of open fields and still waters, offering the kind of heavy, humid peace you can only find deep in the South. Freeman bought this land back in 1991 from his parents, but the scandal is in the history. This was his grandparents' land, originally the very soil that raised him. Buying it wasn't just a real estate transaction, it was a massive flex of reclaiming his heritage and coming home a conqueror. The crown jewel of the estate is a stunning two-storey brick mansion, understated yet screaming old money, blending southern tradition with celebrity privacy. The massive wraparound porch offers the ultimate view of his empire, a lake and rolling fields, where the only drama is the weather. Darling, let's step past the velvet ropes and into the inner sanctum of the main residence, where the layout features 3 plush bedrooms and a staggering 6 bathrooms. We are talking about rooms that are absolutely massive, flooded with natural light and seamlessly integrated with the gorgeous landscape outside. The whole vibe is incredibly open, refreshingly honest, and totally lacks that plastic pretension, mirroring the legendary personality of the man who calls it home. While the main crib is cosy and intimate, don't be fooled. The estate itself is a sprawling empire boasting 4 exquisitely crafted guest cottages nearby. These guest pads come fully equipped with their own private suites, and across the compound you will discover a massive 5-car garage, a state-of-the-art gym and a playroom. There is even a private farm store on the premises, with every structure tucked discreetly into the greenery rather than screaming for attention like a typical Hollywood mansion. A shimmering private lake sits right behind the house, acting like a mirror for the towering trees that block out the prying eyes of the paparazzi along the water's edge. Just beyond that water feature, a massive horse farm stretches out, complete with professional stables and riding trails weaving through the exclusive acreage. Naturally, there is a sparkling swimming pool, private tennis courts, and even a personal golf area, all curated for those lazy, luxurious mornings and secretive afternoons. But hold on to your hats, because the most shocking and scandalous obsession on Morgan Freeman's land isn't the mansion or the private lake, it is the bees. Back on July 24th, 2014, Freeman casually spilled the tea on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, dropping a total bombshell on the audience. He confessed that he had transformed his entire 124-acre Mississippi ranch into a buzzing, full-blown bee sanctuary. After getting wind of the terrifying global crisis known as colony collapse disorder and the threat of honeybee extinction, he didn't just tweet about it. Oh no, he decided to get his hands dirty, planting acres upon acres of bee-friendly clover, lavender and magnolia trees to save the species. He then imported dozens of beehives, literally turning his luxury estate into a 5-star hotel for insects to ensure they had a safe place to thrive. Rumour has it that in the early days, Freeman was out there personally feeding his bees a sugar and water cocktail when they wandered too far, acting like a bee whisperer. He would gently usher them back to safety, and over time, this eccentric hobby morphed into a massive conservation crusade. He has effectively turned his multi-million-dollar estate into a rare biological haven for pollinators in a world where their numbers are crashing. Today, the real estate sharks estimate the market value of this property to sit somewhere around a cool $10 million. But let's be real, the true worth is impossible to calculate because this estate isn't just about flashing cash, it is about finding a place to belong. It is Freeman's ultimate hideaway, his creative bunker, an environmental statement, and a love letter to the Mississippi soil that raised him. And whenever he decides to leave this peaceful fortress to travel the world, believe me, Freeman does not make a quiet exit. Now let's pry open the garage doors and take a scandalous peek at the machinery that carries Morgan Freeman's calm power onto the streets. Morgan has never been the type of celebrity to buy a flashy car just to make noise and grab headlines. That is simply beneath him. His collection is filled with quieter, more thoughtful beasts that complement his legendary status rather than trying to compete with it. Take the 2004 Corvette Indy 500 pace car, for instance. It is the exact kind of ride that screams American craftsmanship. It is sleek low to the ground and undeniably bold, hiding a 5.7-litre V8 engine that pumps out 350 horsepower. This bad boy is capable of rocketing from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds, looking fast even when it is parked in the driveway. Freeman's specific model, valued at roughly $50,000, isn't just some dust-collecting item in a rich man's garage. It stands as a nostalgic reminder of a time when cars were built to be loud, proud, and unapologetically American. Now, if the Corvette is the muscle, the Cadillac Scarlet is the pure, unadulterated elegance of the collection. A rare vintage beauty, the Scarlet drips with smooth lines, heavy chrome accents, and that wide boss-level profile that only classic caddies possess. That massive V8 engine doesn't roar. It simply hums, offering the kind of relaxed, floaty ride that suits a Hollywood icon perfectly. With an interior wrapped in plush leather that feels like a VIP lounge, this is the car he picks when he wants the world to slow down for a minute. Then we have the Tesla Model S, the most modern and tech-savvy toy in Freeman's impressive lineup, quiet, clean, and deadly fast. The Model S is a total flex of his personal responsibility, blending environmental consciousness with high-end luxury. Powered by dual electric motors, this sedan can churn out up to 670 horsepower, which is absolutely insane for a daily driver. We are talking about 0 to 60 miles per hour in as little as 3.1 seconds, leaving paparazzi in the dust. With a price tag around $80,000, it is the vehicle he chooses when he wants efficiency without sacrificing an ounce of style. It is living proof that even the oldest icons can evolve and adapt to the modern world. Together, these rides tell quite a story. They reveal a man who respects heritage and craftsmanship, preferring the quiet confidence of a machine that doesn't need to shout to be the boss. But why drive when you can fly? Freeman earned his private pilot's license in 2002, a plot twist that shocked the industry. Taking to the skies wasn't about status. It was about total control, independence, and the thrill of mastering a dangerous new skill late in life. His first set of wings was a Cessna 414, a stunning twin-engine plane valued at around $500,000. This beauty is capable of seating up to 8 passengers, allowing him to jet off with his entourage whenever the mood strikes. It offered that delicious, rare combination of raw power and sensible practicality that every A-lister craves. Freeman utilised this bird to ghost his way across the South and Midwest, soaking up the kind of exclusive privacy that commercial airlines could never dream of offering a star of his magnitude. Eventually, he decided to level up to a Cessna Citation 501, a compact turboprop powerhouse designed specifically for the high-stakes business hustle. With enough space to seat his entourage of 5 and a cruising speed that made cross-country hops feel like a breeze, this beauty came with a price tag hitting up to $800,000. Of course, the final bill depended on the vintage and the model year, but it was never about being flashy. It was about being sharp, reliable, and stealthy. It was the perfect match for a legend who values the mission over the bling. But don't get it twisted, his toy collection peaked with the Emivest SJ30. We are talking about a sleek, lightweight aerial beast priced somewhere in the neighbourhood of $7.5 million. This machine tears through the sky at a blistering 560 miles per hour, with a range touching nearly 2,900 miles, letting Freeman skip the layovers. The SJ-30 gave him the ultimate freedom to cross vast distances without pausing for a refuel. Inside the cabin is pure class, fitting up to 9 people. The interior is wrapped in warm, understated luxury, comfortable enough for a king, but never screaming for attention. This was the jet that truly mirrored the man. Fast, laser-focused and ready for the long game. However, living the high life has brought Freeman face to face with disaster in the clouds. In one terrifying headline-making moment, a tyre exploded right after takeoff, forcing a white-knuckle emergency landing. Yet he stayed impossibly cool. He later joked about the near-death ordeal with that signature smooth charm during interviews, proving that even when gravity tries to take him out, his ice-cold composure is untouchable. When he isn't dodging clouds, you will find Freeman conquering the ocean because apparently land is just too boring for a man of his stature. He is a hardcore sailor with decades of experience. He views the open water not as just another expensive hobby to show off, but as a necessary escape from the madness of fame. He started humble with an Alberg 30, a modest vessel worth around $30,000 before upgrading in the flashy 1980s to a Shannon 38, a much sturdier and cozier ride valued near $80,000, but his latest obsession, the Shannon 43, is the true queen of the fleet, commanding a price tag over $400,000. It is modern, elegant and built for marathon voyages, and it embodies the same rugged, calm endurance that has defined Freeman's entire persona. Sailing is where he hits the reset button and disappears from the grid. For him, it is luxury defined by isolation, not Instagram moments, but fueling these expensive passions is a massive empire built over decades of grinding. So let's rip open the books and dissect the massive financial legacy that keeps this Hollywood titan living large, looking at his income and total net worth. Right now, insiders peg his net worth at a jaw-dropping $250 million. That number is a testament to his staying power in Tinseltown and the incredible versatility of his portfolio. But what makes that fortune even more insane is that he amassed it after taking a massive hit to his wallet years ago. We are talking about that infamous 2010 divorce settlement, which rumour has it bled him for anywhere between $100 million and $200 million. Most stars would have gone broke under that kind of financial pressure, but Freeman just kept cashing checks and moving forward. The man has over 100 credits to his name, a staggering resume that dominates every genre and captures every generation. His pay stubs reveal the evolution of a superstar. Back in the day, he snagged just $300,000 for the classic Shawshank Redemption. Fast forward to playing Lucius Fox in the massive Dark Knight trilogy, and he was pulling in roughly $5 million a pop. Today, he doesn't get out of bed for less than $10 million for a major blockbuster role. Acting alone has dumped over $200 million into his accounts throughout his legendary career. If acting built the foundation of his wealth, his golden pipes turned it into an impenetrable fortress. Freeman's voice is the most trusted sound in the world. It is instantly recognisable across the globe. He reportedly bagged a cool $1 million just for talking over footage of birds in March of the Penguins. And he kept the streak alive with high-profile gigs like Through the Wormhole, The Story of God, and an endless list of documentaries. Between commercials and brand partnerships, his voiceover fee typically swings between $1 million and $5 million per project. That is on top of ongoing licensing deals that rake in another $500,000 to $1 million annually on autopilot. Way back in 1996, he got smart and co-founded Revelations Entertainment with producer Laurie McCreary to seize power behind the lens. This power move expanded his influence, birthing hits like Madame Secretary and Invictus. This gave Freeman not only total creative control, but also a sweet slice of the back-end profits. Insiders estimate these producer credits deposit anywhere from $5 million to $20 million into his stash for every hit project. While the company itself holds long-term equity valued in the millions, Freeman also pours money into ventures that scream Morgan. Staying true to his Mississippi DNA, he is the co-owner of the famous Ground Zero Blues Club in Clarksdale, a vibrant hotspot for live tunes, soul food, and cultural tourism, the club pulls in an estimated $1 million to $3 million a year. Depending on the event calendar and the tourist flow, he even tried his hand at tech years ago, partnering with Intel on Clickstar, a digital distribution platform that was way ahead of its time. Even though that venture eventually folded, it showed he was always looking for the next big score. Let's talk about the kind of wealth that makes heads spin, because this Hollywood titan added more than $10 million in pure equity value during his run. Even with the new generation rising, Freeman remains the ultimate get for big brands. The man is locking down massive deals left and right, including a blockbuster partnership with Homes.com that kicks off in 2025, proving he is still the king of endorsements. And let's not forget the bubbles. His promotions for Laurent Perrier champagne continue to pour a steady stream of revenue into his already overflowing bank account. When you throw in his savvy social media plays and quiet investment income, it becomes painfully obvious how Freeman maintains that lavish financial stability without ever looking desperate for attention. But while his bank balance is the stuff of legend, the real tea is that the heart of Freeman's legacy is actually found in the causes he dumps his fortune into. His philanthropy game is strong. His most deeply personal project is the Tallahatchie River Foundation, which he actually co-founded with his daughter Morgana back in 1991, keeping it all in the family. The entire mission is hyper-focused on early childhood education in Tallahatchie County, proving he has never forgotten his roots despite the bright lights of fame. This foundation is the muscle behind programs like the Tallahatchie Early Learning Alliance, or TELI, which is designed to ensure these kids are thriving and crushing it by the third grade. For all this heavy lifting, Freeman was honoured with the 2017 Friend of Children Award, a shiny recognition highlighting his decades-long obsession with nurturing the next generation of talent. Then there is the drama of nature. Back in 2004, after Hurricanes Ivan and Emily absolutely devastated the island of Grenada, he stepped up. Freeman didn't just watch the news. He co-founded the Grenada Relief Fund, which was later rebranded as Plan It Now to keep the aid flowing. He even got into the kitchen for the cause, releasing a celebrity cookbook titled Morgan Freeman and Friends Caribbean Cooking for a Cause, with every dime of the proceeds going to disaster preparedness and recovery. The initiative blew up even bigger after Hurricane Katrina hit, further strengthening those communities in crisis when they needed a hero the most. And if you think he only cares about people, think again. Animal welfare has been a massive, significant chunk of Freeman's philanthropic empire. He has been a long-time heavy hitter for the Mississippi Animal Rescue League, throwing his support behind the voiceless. He also dropped serious cash donating to the Mississippi State College of Veterinary Medicine, helping to establish the Morgan Freeman Equine Reproduction Research Unit. Yes, he is saving horses too. In 2025, he took this passion to an entirely new level by donating a staggering $11 million to build a new global animal sanctuary announced on his 88th birthday as a gift to protect homeless animals worldwide. His philanthropic reach is not just local. It stretches across the globe through his work with artists for a new South Africa, also known as ANSA. Freeman has been on the front lines supporting HIV/AIDS relief, critical education initiatives and conservation work all across the African continent. And in a move that definitely got people talking during the nationwide debates over policing and justice, he co-donated a cool $1 million to launch the Center for Evidence-Based Policing and Reform at the University of Mississippi, signalling he is ready to fund real results-driven change. But peel back the layers behind Morgan Freeman's iconic calm voice and that unshakable screen presence we all know and love. What you find is a personal life that has been battered and shaped by intense love, devastating loss, resilience, and a private strength the public almost never gets to see. Let's dive into the romance files. Freeman married Jeanette Adair Bradshaw in 1967, way before Hollywood fame came knocking on his door. That marriage crashed and burned in 1979, but it did mark the beginning of Freeman's most important role, his life as a father. Then, in 1984, he tied the knot with Myrna Colley Lee, a partnership that lasted over 2 decades before they separated in 2007 and finally divorced in 2010. He is the patriarch to 4 children, Alfonso Dina Morgana and Saifullah, and he helped raise his step-granddaughter, Edana Hines, from his first marriage. But here is the tragic twist. Her shocking death in 2015 at the young age of 33 was one of the deepest, most gut-wrenching heartbreaks of Freeman's entire life. It was a loss that absolutely shook him to his core, playing out both personally and in the unforgiving glare of the public eye. Yet, despite these crushing hardships, Freeman has remained engaged, refusing to hide away from the world around him. In 2010, he was rubbing shoulders with power players like former President Bill Clinton, soccer star Landon Donovan, and US Soccer Federation President Sunil Gulati in Zurich. The squad was there to support the United States bid for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, putting his star power to work. It was a rare public flex that reflected his deep national pride and his undeniable status as a global icon. But some of the most defining, life-altering moments of his personal saga happened not on a movie set, but on the dangerous open road. On August 3rd, 2008, the tabloids went wild when Freeman was seriously injured after his Nissan Maxima flipped and rolled over near Ruleville, Mississippi, requiring an emergency airlift to a Memphis hospital. He was on the operating table for a grueling 4-hour surgery to repair severe nerve damage in his shoulder and arm. It was a close call. Although alcohol was ruled out, the drama continued when his passenger filed a lawsuit alleging negligence, which was eventually settled privately, so Freeman could focus on healing. That accident left permanent scars. He developed fibromyalgia, a condition causing chronic, agonizing pain in his left hand and arm. This injury forces him to wear those signature compression gloves you see him with, which are strictly to help with circulation, not just a fashion statement. Born a lefty, Freeman was eventually forced to rely almost entirely on his right hand due to the partial paralysis, changing how he interacts with the world. It is just another example of his incredible ability to adapt and keep the show going despite physical limitations that would stop a lesser man. Through personal trials, massive career triumphs and life-changing injuries, Freeman has remained surprisingly grounded. His resilience is not loud or flashy. It is steady, mirroring that same quiet strength audiences feel in his performances, built from real life, not just scripts. If you live for this deep dive into the life of a legend, make sure you smash that like button, share this video and subscribe for more insider tea. Your support helps us bring you more shocking stories, more heroes and more legends. And as always, thank you for watching and being part of the Scandal Squad, the entire gossip-obsessed social circle.